Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in, imagine breathing in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just get a sense that stress and tension is leaving your body in your outward breath. Continuing to breathe in and breathe out, and notice that with each and every breath you're able to gradually release tension. And I don't know if that tension is around your eyes, your eyelids, or if that tension is on your forehead or around your jaw. Just get a sense that as you're breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation, as you exhale, just get a sense that you're giving permission for that tension to let go. And as you let go of that tension, feel that tension leaving your body in your outward breath. So much so that just by breathing in and breathing out and extending that outward breath, you're able to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. Now, that's it. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a garden. And in this garden, I want you to imagine there are 2 dogs. I want you to imagine that one dog is treated differently to the other dog. One dog has strict rules, and the other dog has the ability to eat whatever that dog wants. I want you to imagine that you are the owner of both dogs. And the dog that has those rigid rules, I want you to imagine that dog looks skinny and maybe looks more angry, more aggressive, more willing to snarl. And the other dog is larger, maybe they're the same breeds, but slower. And I want you to give a sense that that larger dog always has a food bowl with food in it. Whenever the dog wants to eat, it can eat. And notice that the dog eats slowly. Notice that that dog will quite often leave food left in its bowl. That it's fine eating whenever it feels like eating. And then I want you to imagine the other dog can't access the other bowl. Maybe it's in a different part of the garden. And the bowl is always empty. And there are rules as to when that smaller, thinner dog gets food. Maybe it gets a certain amount of food at certain times of the day. And imagine feeding that dog. And I want you to imagine that dog is aggressive. The moment you're putting the food in the bowl, it can't wait to eat it. It eats it quick, not enjoying any taste or flavors, just guzzling it down. Notice that the food is only in the bowl for seconds before it's gone. And that dog is hungry and it wants more, snarling at you, wanting more, and yet you do not resist. You go away because that's how much food that dog is meant to have. And in the other part of the garden, you see that food bowl overflowing with food, and the dog couldn't care less about the food in its bowl. I want you to get a sense that too much control creates rebelliousness. Harsh rules create harsh responses. And I want you to get a sense that in both cases, this is not an ideal situation. I want you to see that overweight dog that can eat whatever it wants, whenever it wants, and it doesn't look healthy. And then when you look at that skinny dog, aggressive dog, that's also not ideal. And I want you to entertain an idea. Entertain an idea of how do you get the trust that that larger dog has, that there's always plenty of food around, but without that dog getting overweight? And how do you reassure that skinny dog that there is enough when quite often the dog gets less than it needs? I want you to get a sense that there is a third dog, and that third dog is given food at regular times. But if the dog communicates that it needs more food, there is a willingness for you as the owner to respond to that request and give the food if necessary. Because if a dog was running around the garden all day or chasing after animals in fields, it would expend more energy and then might need more food on a particular day. And I want you to entertain the idea that consistency, but also flexibility, creates a happy compromise. And I wonder what would happen if you imagine that the skinny dog and the overweight dog forms this new dog, where there is not unlimited food, but there is good quality food at regular intervals, meal times, and that if the dog communicates that it needs more, that you will be open to that possibility. And I want you to imagine the shape of that dog, which is a compromise of these two situations. The dog isn't skinny anymore, and it seems more content. But equally, it's not overweight, it's not unhealthy. And the only difference is, in one case there was too many rules, and in the other case there was no rules whatsoever. And in this compromise, there's a few reasonable rules and flexibility depending on how that dog communicates with you. And if that third scenario feels like a reasonable solution to avoiding the problems of the polar opposites, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to locate the part inside you which has been this hungry dog. The part that feels that the rules have been too harsh. That even when it communicates with you that it needs more, sometimes it's been ignored. And when I'm communicating to that part, let me know by nodding your head. I understand that trust has been broken, that you've had to fight to get what you want. You've had to fight for control. You've had to fight to get what you thought was a basic right. You feel let down. You feel exploited. And the only way we can rebuild this trust is by listening to you. Not listening to your snarls and barks, but reasonable requests. And I'm just wondering that if you were to be given more of what you need, and if you would be listened to at the point where you really need something, and if those requests are listened to and responded, do you agree to change your aggression for more reasonable communication? And if so, let me know by nodding your head. I know it's difficult because trust is earned. I'm just wondering if you would be open-minded to the possibility of evaluating what actually happens. That if you're given more of what you need, if you're listened to more frequently, do you think it's possible over time that instead of being that aggressive, angry dog, you could be that friendly pet in a loving home? I want you to get a sense that love and communication is a two-way street. If you're listened to and responded, then it makes sense that you would also listen and respond. And I'm wondering if you're happy to help move towards a future where the future is full of health and happiness. Gratification isn't happiness, it's the illusion of happiness. Binging on food is not eating a delicious meal, it's wolfing it down and then regretting it afterwards. I want you to be open-minded to that bridges that are burnt will be rebuilt. Doors that have been closed will be reopened. And I want you to imagine that it's possible for you to change from that naughty dog that's been shut outside in the cold and the rain and then over time invited back in the family home. To be a protector. To be included. And the only thing in return is for you to be open-minded to that middle ground. You don't need to fight for food if you're given it anyway. You don't need to snarl and bark if the food is there when you need it. And if you're happy to reduce this urge for binges, but trust that you will get what you need and communicate if those needs aren't being met, let me know by nodding your head. Time will tell, because you'll be able to see what happens. And I want you to get a sense that in the same way that you will require a bit of faith, so will other parts require faith Faith that when you're given more than you need, you won't demand even more. And if you're happy to enter this new arrangement in the spirit of collaboration, partnership, harmony, rather than conflict and aggression, then this game is winnable. You benefit. Everyone benefits. Now it's time to return to the present. I want you to imagine returning to the present, feeling that hungry dog and the overweight dog is now changed to a healthy dog full of energy, but understands there has to be some parameters, but that those parameters are fairer. But it can always communicate if it really does need more. If you now promise that you will listen to that communication and respond accordingly in a fair way, let me know by nodding your head. That's right. And then imagine that new dog is no longer in the garden, but it's in your home. You consider it a part of your family rather than a estranged pet. And then find yourself in the present, listening to my voice, willing and able to make changes that cultivate more harmony inside your soul and your spirit. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling a huge desire to have more harmony in your life, more balance in your life, and, crucially, listening more to your intuition in a way that takes your life in the direction that you want. Health, happiness, and harmony. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.